Hello,
All
everyone.
right.
It's Scotty T from Your Comedy Minute, and I have a wonderful, a wonderful actor, comedian, author, producer. Well, I don't know what all he does, but I tell you what, I really like this guy. Steve Sabo is here. Did I say it right?
You said it right. That's exactly right.
Steve,
Thanks.
thank you for giving me some of your time.
Oh man, I'm happy to do it, man. I watched some of your shows and
Don't
they seem
don't
real
suck
fun.
up. Don't give me that. Don't do
No,
that.
I did. No, when you
Don't do
when you
that. Just
it's
don't.
not. So as you know, Sal, mentioned that I should
Sal
talk to you.
D'Amelio set us up.
Yeah, so the first thing I did is I looked at a couple of things and I go, "Oh yeah, like Wendy Liebman, some other people on
Yeah,
there." And I'm
I've had
oh,
George Wallace. I've had a few.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's say this is about you, Steve
All
Sabo.
right.
Your comedy minute. The whole show's about you, my friend.
Oh, I
I
appreciate
do a
that.
lot of research. You're in Ohio,
I am. Yep.
born and raised in Ohio.
I was yeah, well I was born in Ohio. I was born in Cleveland, but I've moved around a lot. So I
Okay.
lived in a lot of different areas. I spent like 7 years in Detroit. I spent about I don't know how many years in Florida. I was in Miami and in Tampa and Clearwater, all that area. Um but most of my time was in Ohio. I lived in Texas for a short period,
Okay.
but mostly Ohio.
Well, I brought up Cleveland because I was there when the Browns opened their stadium, and
Oh yeah.
I was in Cleveland at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when it opened.
Oh wow.
I love
Very cool.
Cleveland. I've been to the flats. I love the flats down there. I partied down
Yeah,
at the
Cleveland,
flats.
Cleveland is an underrated city, man. I have a lot of
Ian
fun there.
Hunter. I love Cleveland Rocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Been doing comedy for 33 years or more, right?
35 now. 35 as of this
35
month.
years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always ask people the catalyst, how did it start? And if
Yeah.
I'm right, you were 18 in college.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah. I was a freshman in college, and like it could be argued that I started earlier than that because like I remember it's one of those things that you think about later in life. But there's a talent show in the third grade where I
Right.
told jokes with another kid. So that was I guess my first time on stage. But I always loved stand up comedy. Like I always watched it on TV. I
Yeah.
watched the HBO comedy specials. I watched everything the Tonight Show with Carson and all that kind of stuff. Loved it from back then. Never thought I'd do it. Never for a
Yeah.
minute thought I would
Okay.
ever do it. And then my freshman year in college, there was the Certs College Comedy Competition, and it came to town. I was like, man, that'd be fun just to try it once, and tried it once, and just
30
wow,
and 35 years later, here we are.
that's it. That's it.
Comedians that inspired you again. I knew some of this because you mentioned staying up late and Carson and
Yeah.
wanting to see the comedian. Uh, some of the comedians that inspired you when you were younger, and comedians that you like now.
Okay. So when I was younger, it's very different than it would be now. But I guess I first started off would be like Eddie Murphy would have been one of my very
Right.
first influences. I like Sam Kennison. I like Carlin. But back in the day, there wasn't as much you could get. There wasn't.
Right.
So I would buy whatever comedy. Yeah, I'm gonna age myself. Cassette tapes were available at the stores, and you might get Richard Pryor. You might get Stephen Wright was somebody I loved early
I
on.
met Steve.
Um,
I had I'm about 10 years older than you.
yeah.
I had George Carlin Toledo window box on 8-track tape.
Oh my gosh.
Hold the
Wow.
camera up. Hold the camera up. You're falling down a little bit. Hold the camera
Uh-oh.
up higher. There you
Uh-oh.
go.
Uh-oh,
There
I'm
you go.
slipping.
That's all right. But no, so comedians, you mentioned Stephen Wright. I met him in Vegas. What
Oh,
about
that's great.
comedians that you like now?
I really love Bill Burr. I think Bill Burr is really
Okay.
good. I liked him a little bit better when he was before he got married, before he had his
Oh,
kids.
okay. Yeah.
He was more of the ranting person. I really like Jim Jeffries. I'm a big fan of Anthony Jeselnik. There's a
Yeah,
lot of guys I
absolutely.
really like. Yeah.
You ran when I told you before we got on here how much I love you. You're my kind of comic.
I was in Vegas when the pandemic hit. That was weird. Yeah, they shut everything down overnight. They shut down the restaurants, the casinos. They shut down all the shows. They shut down the strip clubs. You know shit's real when they shut down the Las Vegas strip clubs. But don't worry. 3 weeks later, they opened it back up with one change. All the dancers had to wear masks. No clothes. a mask. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been to strip clubs where I've said to myself, that dancer should be wearing a mask. But of all the things you might catch at a full nude Las Vegas strip club, pretty sure COVID's pretty far down that list, right? It's gotta be a little monkeypox, at the very least, right? Has to be.
But I want to keep going because you have 8 comedy albums and several books. And the first book, if I have it right, is Jester. What is it? Jester's Run.
Jester's Run. That was my first book. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a batch more.
Oh yeah. My second book was How to Fail at Stand-Up Comedy. That was one that did really well. A lot of comics see that.
You're following up. You're following up with another version of that. How to Fail at Comedy Writing.
Yeah, I finished that one. That one's out now. You can get that on Amazon. And I have a newest book. My newest book is coming out probably. It's still being edited right now. So hopefully, April, end of March or April.
I'm gonna put the links to everything, all your Amazon,
great.
to all the books and all the links. But yeah, you're an amazing guy.
Oh no, you're too kind. I'll have a lot of time on my hands. That's what it is.
No, because I want to also cover the albums. You have 8 comedy albums or whatever, right?
Yeah, I do.
Latest one's NSFW, Not Safe for Work.
That's right. You'd be surprised how many people don't know what that means.
Well, I do.
I thought everybody knew it, but
do you want me to keep going? Now you have merchandise available too.
I do. I've got T-shirts. I've got glow-in-the-dark rulers. I've got all kinds of stuff.
Well, tell them what your T-shirt says.
My T-shirt is I have a new T-shirt as well, but my main T-shirt is 65% fuckable is the main one.
65% fuckable.
Yeah.
And on your Facebook page and everything is all these people wearing these 65% fuckable.
Yeah, if they put it on at the show, I'll take a picture of them and post it to social media. Most people buy them and take them home, obviously, but some people put them on right there at the moment, and it's always fun to just
65% fuckable.
Yeah.
And what did I tell you before we started this? I couldn't get one.
That's what you said. You said they'd have to grease you up to get you
25-30% tops, and that's if they hose me down before the event.
Right.
You opened for a lot of comedians: Joan Rivers, Chris Rock, Kevin James, Jim Brewer, you name it. I was wondering if you have a favorite memory out of all of them, and then one that maybe didn't, one that didn't go so good.
Well, that's a really good question. So I loved working with Joan Rivers, and one of the reasons why was I didn't know what to expect with her. Like, she has this personality that's on TV that's very brash, it's very abrasive, and she wasn't like that at all. When I met her in person, she couldn't have been more sweet. She couldn't have been more kind. I told her that my grandfather was a big fan of hers, and she took time and wrote an autograph specifically for him that she personalized, wrote all kinds of nice things about it. Just couldn't have been nicer. Gave me a lift in her limousine back to the hotel, and just a wonderful, sweet woman. And it's so sad that she's gone. Plus, she writes all the time, which I really appreciate. Because a lot of comics, once they get to a certain level of fame, they just kind of just do the hits, right? Just ride their fame and do what people expect. But Joan is always delivering. Well, obviously she's gone now, but was writing new jokes. Like the first day I met her, she had written jokes that day, and she wrote them out in these big pieces of like construction paper that she put on the floor of the stage, that she could just walk around and see these new jokes she just wrote and try them out if she felt like it. And I thought that was like a kind of an amazing thing that she did.
Yeah.
And then with Chris Rock, that's one of my sadder ones, because I really I've always admired Chris Rock. Always wanted to work with him. I got to work with him for a week, but the way he had things, and I've heard that he's kind of a shy person in person, so I don't take anything for granted in it. But I was emceeing the show, and I wasn't allowed to actually, like, he showed up after the show already started. right? So he wouldn't be there hanging out. He'd just be there for his portion of the show. And then he would leave immediately. So they'd take him off the stage and out the door. So I didn't really have a chance to have any conversations with him until the very, very last day when we're sitting around waiting to get paid. And then and it wasn't, it wasn't much. I was like, hey man, it's really great work with you. I really appreciate it. He's like, oh, okay. And I was like, it. I was like, oh, I just wanted to get these moments of, of insight and
anything,
and I couldn't get it from him. So that was
again, we just met. For people who don't know, even though Sal introduced, I was with Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. I worked in the music business my whole life.
Yeah,
and all these people were so excited, and he put his hand, and he just went like, he wouldn't even shake their hand. He said, "Put your hand out." Oh my God, what a prick! What a prick! Billy, if you're watching this, I still think you were a prick.
Oh my God.
He could have taken the time. It was only like 25, 30 people, but he egos.
Yeah. And I try not to ever, I don't hold people responsible for that. I mean, who knows what they're going through that day or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
I got you. I could relate to that story.
Yeah.
You've been on HBO, NBC, Comedy Central.
Yeah.
You've done a movie. You've done some stuff in movies. Do you enjoy acting? Do you enjoy acting?
I don't enjoy acting as much as I enjoy stand-up. Like all the acting stuff, it's all sit around and wait. It's setting up for lighting. It's taking all this time, and then you don't see the results. For months or years, and it's and the final cut is never what you expect it to be. You don't really have any creative control on it. Where stand-up, you have all the control, and that's what I really like about it. And it's the immediate gratification of what the audience is going to respond to. That's what I really love.
I saw kind of follow up to that one is that you've played in like 40 some of the United States.
Yeah.
And you've been all over. And I was wondering, again, kind of setting you up here a little bit. Favorite place to play, worst favorite place, worst place to play.
Okay.
By the way, just before you answer, I said that to someone one time, and they said their favorite place, and then they said their worst place to play was Pennsylvania. Now, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Really? So, I like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is probably my second favorite state to play. So if we're breaking it down by states, or you're breaking it down by cities,
however you want to do it. I just wanted to tell you that.
Yeah, my favorite city to play ever was Boise, Idaho, and people are always surprised by that. But I've never done a show in Boise where they weren't the greatest audiences ever.
Okay,
it's like they show up to laugh. They're all smart. They're all polite. They're kind. They know. It's a good city, like really good people. If you drive down the street in Boise, Idaho, it's gonna seem confusing for a second because you're like, what's different? And you realize, oh, there's no garbage on the road. The lawns are are nice. There's no crime. There's no homeless people. It's just it's just a wonderful.
Here we go, kids. Go ahead, keep going.
No, it's just a great area, and the people are.
I'm going to try and get you riled up. I want you to get riled up. I love when I get people riled up.
Is there any lady here, any woman here in this place who's ever received, her arms already up, who's ever received, let me finish the question, ma'am, who's ever received an unsolicited dick pic? Put your hand up, ladies. Look at it. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least 10. And a lot of liars over here. You got one. So many of them. And I mentioned that on stage. And this one girl got mad at me. She goes, girls do it too. I go, girls do what? Girls send unsolicited vagina pictures. I go, no, they don't. They don't. Women have more class than that. Plus, let's be perfectly honest. We probably wouldn't know if we got one. Would we guys? Like seriously, sir, if you had a close-up picture, completely out of the blue, would you be able to pick it out of a lineup? Would you know for certain that that's what it was? I know I wouldn't. I'd be like, what is that, lasagna? Who's sending me this? I'm kidding.
One of my least favorite places I played was Oklahoma, and
Okay.
it's not that it's not. I think it's certain audiences, right? So
Sure.
I played Oklahoma shows that were great, and but other ones, it's like the people just seemed like you look at somebody and you see the deadness in their eyes. They just seem like
Deafness.
life is just beating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And like these people showed up, and I was doing a show, and it was in a hotel lounge at this hotel, and they had a stage, and they had a dance floor, and then they had a bar, and all the tables were behind the bar. So I asked if I could move the tables up to the dance floor, so there'd be people around the stage, right? And the bartender, she's like going, well, I want people to sit back here, so they'll tip me. And I go, well, you can just come out and serve the people on the floor. It's the same thing. And she's like going, no, I don't want to do that. I want people up here. I go, well, I want the show to be well so people could see the show and be up in the thing. She called management and complained that I wanted people to sit in the stage, close to the stage. And then when people showed up, she told them to sit at the bar and not at the stage, not the tables in the front. So she just intentionally tried to, make my show bad. And it's
Yeah.
like, why did you do that? I'm trying to make everybody laugh. I'm trying to make everybody have a good time, trying to have it be a good show. And she just didn't want anything to do with it. She wanted her life to be the way her life was. She wanted her regular to sit at the
I've been to
bar.
Oklahoma. I've been to Oklahoma. I've been there. I've been to Tulsa. I know all about it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about these people, but like they don't want they don't want to be happy. And I don't know why.
Your thing you mentioned earlier, as far as writing,
Yep.
that's what makes you you, is that you just keep working constantly.
Yes, yes. I love to write. Writing jokes is one of the things that, like, if I'm a writer at heart, right? I love to perform,
Yeah.
but I'm a writer at heart, and being able to form the words to make people laugh, in the right way
Yeah.
is a passion of mine. And it's just I write jokes. I don't write every day. Like Seinfeld says, he sits down for an hour every day or whatever with a pen and a paper. That's not the way I write. But for me, like most of the time when I'm driving, um, thoughts will come to me, and I'll just write them down, or I'll type them into my phone or whatever it is. And I like to just go up on stage that night and take this idea, this concept, and then turn it into a joke. Like, and a lot of times I'll do that. Like I'll write I'll write a joke based on something that happened in that moment, right? Or
Sure.
something that was spontaneous and it becomes a joke. Like,
Yeah, do
like
one now. Just do one now about this whole adventure we're on so far.
well, like give you an example. Like here's like a funny thing that happened was I was doing a show in Illinois once, and there was this girl in the front row that had the inside of her bottom lip tattooed, like the
Yeah.
underside of it, like inside of it. She flipped it over, and it said "twat," TWAT.
Right.
And I looked at her. I said, I think you tattooed the wrong set of lips. You know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
what to say down there? Mouth? Like what happened? How did this happen? That became a joke. And then like
Yeah.
just 2 days ago, I did a show, and there's this couple in the audience that they had met on a dating site. They had met on a site called Our Time. And I go, oh, that's for older people that are dating. And they go, yeah.
Right.
I go, that's actually the short version. The real name is Our Time is Almost Up. That's what the dating site is. And they got a good laugh, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
use that again.
I
So
watched
that's
I watched one to echo what you're talking about, and I even commented on your YouTube page where you were talking to some people, and they were married, and then they said it was their second marriage,
yeah,
and they married each other again.
right.
And then I wrote in on YouTube, people can look at it. My brother married the same woman twice
And divorced her, right? Twice.
and divorced her twice.
Right.
Because he said,
Right.
I don't want to give away the line, but they can go watch it. But you were so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Your crowd work is amazing.
Thank you. I get a lot of compliments on my crowd work, which is one of those things I think is funny. I do like crowd work. I like spontaneity. I like to see what happens at those
Yeah.
moments. But it is funny that as a comedian, you can spend weeks, months crafting a joke perfectly,
Yeah.
and the audience will always like the stuff that you said in the moment better. It's funny.
I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Um, I want to make sure we cover everything. I want to make sure I thank Sal D'Amelio. But in order
Yeah.
to thank Sal, I have to go back to Adam Minnick, because Adam got me in touch with Sal.
Yeah.
So, and you can feel free to send me anybody you like if you had a good time.
Okay.
I want
Sure.
to make sure that we cover everything. as far as what you got coming up. Your new books coming out, right?
Yeah.
And
My
you're
new book is
touring
coming
all the
out soon.
time.
Yeah, I'm working constantly. I'm one of the few comics that really that I do the road like 52 weeks a year. So like I don't have a day job. I haven't had a day job in over 25 years. So this is all I do is travel to tell jokes. So I'm constantly on the road. I'm not sure exactly where I'll be then, but I already know like my schedule like for this week. Like this week I have a show in Michigan, then a show in Illinois, then another show in Michigan, and then I'm going to Kansas City. So like I'm bouncing all around. I should learn how to read a map better, but I'm bouncing up and down and back and forth. So I'm always traveling somewhere. I think in March I'm actually doing Maine, which is going to be my 47th state, which is something I've been trying to cross off the
Is
list.
that the goal to get to all 50 of them?
Yeah, that's the goal eventually. And so that's kind of exciting for me to do. And my new book, I'm excited about my new book. It's my new book comes out. Like I said, it comes out. It's kind of like a psychological thriller, maybe a horror type book, but it's a book about a guy that goes back to his 10-year high school reunion to seek revenge on the people that bullied him in high school. So it's got a lot, and there's comedy in it, but that's not the main focus. Like all my writing is going to have comedy in it because that's just who I am. But I write mystery, thriller, horror.
You skipped over that. The other books you have and you were in a horror movie.
Yeah. I've been. I was in a couple horror movies. One of them never came out, called Hell's Lake, but the other one was Pi Day Die Day, where
Right.
I got killed off in the first reel. That was fun. Horror was one of my very first loves. All the time. I don't know what it is about. And I was talking to a kind of a famous horror author named John Skip, and we were talking, and he was telling me that horror and comedy go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
And I really think they do. There's a lot of elements to both that correspond very well.
Especially the way you do it.
Right. I agree. Some of my drive things are insane. There's a time I remember. It's kind of a funny story where I was driving and my feature act didn't know how to drive a stick, so I had to drive the entire time. But it was a long drive. We had to get to this next gig, and we didn't have any time. I had like 4 hours of sleep the night before, so I put the car on cruise control, and I had him steer from the passenger seat while I took a nap while I was driving. And he thinks about this. He talks about this all the time, and he's like, what? Like we could have died.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
You're supposed to wake me, if we're going to drive into something,
Well, I hope. That's something a scary process.
This crazy stuff. And, I've driven, I've been near death experiences all the time.
Yeah.
It happens all on the road. I remember I was driving once actually I was going to Oklahoma, believe it or not, and drove through a blizzard. This semi was on the other side of the road across a cement barrier. Hit this big chunk of ice that flew over, shattered my windshield while I'm driving, Yeah. And if I'd been in the passenger seat, I'd be dead right now because that's where it went, But it's like, I still had to drive through a blizzard the rest of the way without having a windshield, And but let's go on.
I was going to say, did you do the show then?
I sure did. There were 6 people in the audience when I got there, Like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
You see, your website says that you performed for as little as 6 and as many as 5,000 or something.
Yeah, I think I've done even smaller than 6. I did a show once where there were 3 people in the audience and a dog. Like one of the guys was blind.
And a dog.
And
seeing eye dog.
And it was a seeing eye dog. But the dog heckled me. He started just barking through the show. like, what is happening?
The dog started. That's a bad night.
It's a bad night.
That's a bad night when the dog's heckling you. Well, my friend, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to ask you if you got something for me. I'm going to call it Steve Sabo, your comedy minute. Go ahead.
All right. So this is the thing. I saw a lot of those before, so I know kind of like what you guys do.
Whatever you want to do, Steve.
Yeah, your call. I'm just going to do a little bit of material, like you guys do, and somebody would do my act. I'm 53 years old, never been married, don't have any kids. I'm what the ladies like to call red flag. I always thought that waiting to find the right person was an admirable quality, but apparently I should have lost half my shit by now, is what I'm understanding. But I think it's not having kids that bother people the most, because that's always the question to ask. Like, do you not like kids? And I'm like, but you can't answer that question right. Like, you can't, because it's a loaded question. If you say you don't like kids, you come off as a jerk. But if you say I really like kids, you come off as a creep. And if you say I really like other people's kids, they call the cops, you know? And I'd like to meet someone. I'd like to meet somebody that's around my age. That'd be my goal, right? To meet somebody that's around my age. Because older women, I'd say women over 40, they know exactly what they like, and they're not afraid to tell you if you're doing it wrong. Like having sex with an older woman, it's like playing the game Operation. The entire time, it's like, all right. Do you just want to do it then? No, put the toy away. It's intimidating, you know? But the younger women, you know, they always want to try stuff that people like me and other people around my age already know sucks. They always like to do weird stuff, you know, and I'm done with the kinky shit. The really kinky stuff, done with it. You stick your finger up my ass, you better be checking for cancer. That's how I feel right now.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
There you go. There's a minute or so, I think.
Space, you know. Like shower sex? Anybody here tried shower sex? Of course you have. May I ask a different question? Anybody here successfully completed shower sex? Ever? It's the worst. It sounds good on paper. You see it in the movies, it looks amazing, but that's not how reality is. In reality, she's drowning under the faucet. I'm freezing to death on the outside. The parts don't line up. Here's a weird sumo wrestling squat stance. She's got one leg up on the soap dish. I'm trying not to slip the shampoo that she got all over the floor. It's a nightmare. When we go to the bed, there's a bed right over there.